Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching the Amarian Talk Show, and I'm your host, Arisia Kamarian. You have seen today's guest all over Instagram. He is one of the rarest people who speak up for Armenians in Europe. I'm pleased for you to meet Kev Orkian. Hello, Kev. It's a great pleasure to meet you, and I want to say thank you for representing for us in European social media. I think you are the first person that went viral all over Instagram with your videos.
Wake up, world, wake up. What's going on in Armenia is absolutely unacceptable. So here I am again, talking about what is going on in Armenia. I'm not going to stay silent. So let me start by saying...
And tell us, please, a bit about yourself, because your Instagram says that you're entertainer, positive thinker, and piano legend. That's the part that I like the most.
Well, a little bit about me. My name is Kev Orkian. I'm a comedian. I tour all over the world doing stand-up comedy. I'm a concert pianist. I tour all over the world doing piano recitals.
Nice.
And I'm a business owner, and I'm a positive thinker. So positive thinking basically means that I enjoy sharing my positive thoughts, my positive ideas, and sharing concepts for people out there who are really struggling with positive thinking, or they're struggling with depression or negativity or whatever. And at the moment, let's be honest with you, a lot of Armenians are struggling with that simply because of what's going on in our beautiful country. So I try and give a little bit of positive feedback to those people through my the way I am, the way I think.
Great. I think that's the most helpful thing right now, because whole world is going crazy right now. And I think we need that positive thinking mindset. Kev, tell us please more about European Armenian community, because we're so far away from each other and we have no idea what's going on there, and you are the only person that we see, and maybe you're going to be that little bridge that will connect us. Please tell us what's going on in Armenian community in England, Europe.
So what's happening right now around the world, actually, not just in England and Europe, but in America as well. And there are countries like Australia, even South Africa that I've connected with.
Yeah.
And all these people are really struggling to accept what is going on in Armenia right now. And one of them is me. So about 3 weeks ago, I started listening to, newsreels and things from Armenia, just saying, enough's enough. What's going on? Azerbaijan is attacking us again. They're killing innocent families and children. They're targeting schools, churches, hospitals, and they're just really going for it. And it's just, we know we know why they're doing it. We know why they're doing it. It's a blatant example of financials. It's a blatant example of gas pipes. It's a blatant example of not caring about our beautiful country and just thinking they can do what they can do. So I stood up. And I thought, enough's enough. I'm going to start talking about this on social media. And that's what I've done. And I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop talking about it till the whole world starts to listen and to understand that what's happening in Armenia is right now, in my opinion, a second wave 21st century genocide. And if this continues, and it hasn't stopped, it's still continuing even after the peace talks and signing the ceasefire. Even after that, the fact that they're continuing to kill Armenian soldiers, to me, is unacceptable. And until the world starts to listen, I'm not going to stop talking.
Yeah, I think that's beautiful, beautiful position. What do you think? Why other people in Europe? I mean, that's what we see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we are wrong. Because as you said, on one of your videos that I reposted, that there is no news portals, there is no medias that talk about that in UK, especially Europe in general, and why there is no the part of Armenian community that also speaks up.
So this is an interesting question, a really interesting question, because first and foremost, I'm asking this question: why is the media not talking about what's going on in Armenia? Not one national newspaper, not one national news channel, and not one national radio station is talking about what is happening in Armenia. And I think that, to me, is also a crime. It
Yeah.
is a crime because we have the ability to tell the world what's happening in Armenia right now, and no one's doing it. So for me, it's a crime to stay silent.
Exactly.
Silence is violence. That's how I see it. And at the moment, not one national paper in the UK is talking about it. They've barred me. They've blocked me. I've got blocks from BBC News,
Wow.
BBC Scotland, BBC. I've got blocks from all these people. I'm not allowed to share anything with them. And then looking into Europe, I'm speaking to my cousins. I'm speaking to people, whether it's in France, it's in Belgium, it's in Germany, it's in Romania. And no one knows what's going on in Armenia. No one
Wow.
knows because there's no media channels talking about it. So I decided enough was enough. I'm going to start talking about it. And as long as everyone in the world starts sharing the videos and getting it out there and sharing other people's videos that are being produced by other Armenians and other outlets, and just sharing those videos and saying, you know what, let's get this information out there, then that'll be great. And thank God we got that information out there, because people like Khloe Kardashian, Kim Kardashian, and a number of other very well celebrities like Serge Tankian, Eric Azraelian, all these wonderful, wonderful human beings have started sharing not just my information, but everyone else's information. And we're just getting it out there. And you know what? We're hitting close to probably about 1 billion people with the amount of followers that everyone's got. And I think by doing that, I think we're making a bigger awareness about what is going on in Armenia. And then your second question, why are Armenians not really doing much and not talking much? I don't know. There are people upset, but I think after I did a performance last week in Toronto, and it was a great show, great performance, sellout. It was wonderful. And we discussed one of the questions, because I opened it up to the floor and I said, ask me any questions, and people were saying, you've been talking about Armenia and this and that, whatever. And one lady, it was the lady's question that made me realize actually part of the reason why Armenians around the world are still not talking about what's going on. And that is the simple reason that I think they're afraid.
Oh,
I
wow.
think they're afraid of being hurt, of being targeted. I think a lot of Armenians are worried because they have Turkish friends, and a lot of Armenians have different nationality friends. And I think there is that problem where if you start saying, Azerbaijan and Turkey are doing this to Armenia, and blah, 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 or Russia's doing this to Armenia, I think what's happening is the balance is changing. And a lot of Armenians who do have Turkish, Russian friends are worried that those friends are going to turn on them. And they're very scared that if they talk out, things will go wrong. I think that's what it is.
Oh, wow. What do you think about that? I mean, my main value is never judge anyone, because we all have our insecurities. We
Sure.
all are vulnerable in different ways. I don't think that we can judge anyone. Otherwise, any judgments towards us will be acceptable.
Yeah,
But
sure.
what are your thoughts? How can we change that?
I don't think we can change that. I think what we can do is we can support. So the idea about what I'm doing, see, I don't care what people think. I really don't.
The same
I know
here.
that sounds harsh, but at the same time, I wouldn't be a stand-up comedian for the last 20 plus years if I cared about what people thought about. Because if I did, I
Yeah.
probably wouldn't be where I am today. And I think the secret behind this is these are facts. These are not jokes. These are facts. Azerbaijani soldiers are killing, mutilating, and filming dead soldiers for entertainment purposes. The Azerbaijani government hasn't stopped killing Armenians. They are continuing, and they're now killing. They are now attacking as we speak in Armenia, taking more land. And it seems like no one cares. And when it comes to the agenda of the British government, and we have spoken about this in British government, a gentleman called Carl Law, I think his name was, Carl Law spoke about what is Chris Law spoke about what is going on in Armenia. It was just basically, okay, we'll take it into consideration. That was it. That was all we got in the parliament. The Telegraph newspaper printed an article this big, just saying things are really bad in Armenia. That's it. So no one's really talking about it. And I think a lot of people have got their own agendas, their own priorities. And I think the British government, with British Petroleum, have got a big agenda when it comes to kind of informing people what's going on in Armenia, because ultimately they've got blood on their hands as well because of what's going on. And I'm not going to stop talking about it. I think, every day I post videos, they get thousands and thousands of hits. A few of my videos have got millions of hits. And the idea behind it is just to get that information out there and just to say, look, we're not going to stay silent. We're going to keep talking. And until people start to pick up, the concept that, what's happening in Armenia is illegal, it's a war crime, and it's a genocide, 21st century, then and only then can we start thanking people and not shouting at people that, come on, guys, do something. Because at the moment, people are still talking. Oh, yeah, let's send ammunition. Let's send ammunition to Armenia. But they're not saying we are sending. They're going, we're considering to send ammunition to Armenia. They're just chatting. But while you're chatting, Armenians are dying.
Օմորֆիա բարձրակարգ գեղեցկության սրահն իր դռներն է բացել բոլոր նրանց համար, ովքեր հոգատար եւ խնամքով են վերաբերվում իրենց արտաքին տեսքին։ Գեղեցկության ծառայություններ, վարսահարդարում, մատնահարդարում, պեդիկյուր, դիմահարդարում, թարթիչների լիցք, լամինացիա եւ այլն։ Խորհրդատվության եւ գրանցվելու համար զանգահարեք 818 649 10 19։
𝐀𝐦𝐚𝐫𝐢𝐚 Boutique ժամանակակից եւ դասական ոճի նմուշներ ներմուծող եվրոպական տարբեր երկրներից, որոնք կգոհացնեն ցանկացած տարիքի կանանց պահանջները իրենց բարձր որակով, վառ գույներով ամենօրյա եւ երեկոյան զգեստներ։ 𝐀𝐦𝐚𝐫𝐢𝐚 Boutique
LA Smart Blinds հիշեք այս անունը շերտավարակույրներ շուկայի նորագույն լիթիում մարտկոցներով մեր համակարգերը կառավարվում են Google եւ Alexa համակարգերով գույների հսկայական ընտրանի LA Smart Blinds շուկայի ամենացածր գները մեր մասնագետների օգնությամբ ձեր առանձնատները աշխատավայրը բնակարանը կստանա բոլորովին նոր տեսք զանգահարեք 818 281 81 36 LA Smart Blinds.
100 years ago with India, where UK government also had their own interests in India. But, our world were blessed and lucky to have Mahatma Gandhi, who just broke that cycle of injustice. He spoke up for his people. He told British people what's really going on in India, how his people getting hurt, because it was like real injustice. I think we all remember that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and when I'm thinking about solution, because that's how my brain works, I never take something like, okay, that happens, I cannot do anything. No, I think each of us can do something. We can, for example, like your videos. You are doing that. I think it is a big impact that your videos do. Maybe you or someone else think that it's just videos, but no, because I can see how many meaning you put into that. And I always think that there is a solution how we can be heard,
I agree.
Yeah, and is it possible that history, in the better case, will repeat itself? For example, if someone else in Europe, like Mahatma Gandhi in India and England, can speak up and do that revolution, because I think we need information out there.
So I totally agree with what you're saying, and I think one of the most important things that I'm trying to bring across is not just the fact that Azerbaijani soldiers and the government are literally, annihilating Armenians around the world, or certainly in Armenia, but they're annihilating Armenians around the world by destroying our country. And we all hurt from within. We all hurt because we don't have to live in a country to love a country.
Yeah,
I love Armenia. I've been there many times. I've just finished the second documentary about Armenia called Ararat Uncovered. And I just want the world to know how beautiful our country is, how beautiful our people are, how great our country is, and the beauty, the history, the food, the culture, everything that we have is just, it's wonderful. And what's happening is we're being annihilated by Azerbaijani soldiers simply because they have been brought up to hate Armenians.
Yeah.
And I can tell you right now, hand on my heart, I have over 200 messages from different Azeri students, university students, people, family people who have privately messaged me on Instagram saying that they hate the way I'm talking about Azerbaijan, But at the same time, they can't argue the fact that their government and the Azeri soldiers are doing such incredible war crimes on Armenia, and they hate it. They're saying to me, we would like to speak up and say stop. We would like to speak up and say leave our neighbors alone. We would like to speak up and say you're destroying a culture that's done nothing apart from live in peace. And when I say to them, well, why don't you speak up? Why don't you talk on your platforms? Why don't you talk on your Instagram? Well, they said, because the moment we do, they track us down, they find who we are, and they kill us. So there's no freedom of speech. There's no human rights out there. So you feel sorry for them, because even though they're forward thinking and they're not thinking barbarically, they're thinking more humanitarian way, they're still not going to be able to make a difference to us because they're not allowed to talk. So I think it's a really, really sad position that we're in. I think for me, one of the most important things that I'm now telling the world is that actually, if Azerbaijan, the government, was to then attack another country like Austria, France, I don't know, Belgium, Spain, and do the same thing they're doing to us, and you woke up in the morning and you found out half your population was annihilated by Azerbaijani soldiers, and now you had no freedom of speech or you had no human rights because you are now being run by Azerbaijani government, and you have to cover yourself. You're not allowed to walk around the streets anymore with a t-shirt or shorts or flip-flops. You can't show any skin and whatnot. What kind of a life do you think you would accept? Because that's what the questions I'm asking now, because that's what's happening to Armenia. And ultimately, no country in the world would accept what's happening to what Azerbaijan is doing to Armenia. So why are we not talking about it? Why are we not rising from it? And why are we not saying enough is enough?
My TV show has like traditional questions at the end. It doesn't matter what we talk about art, music, comedy, or politics. At the end, I ask the same questions to my guests.
Go for it.
What's your values in your life?
Say again, what's my values?
Yeah, the main values in your life.
My main values in life are to be happy, to have a beautiful family that's healthy, and to stand up for justice and the rights of people who can't defend themselves.
Thank you. And what's the mission of your life?
My mission in life is to leave a legacy behind that everyone on this planet has a day where they smile.
Wow, you are the first guest who answered that questions without even thinking. I'm impressed.
Well, that's because when you have a goal in life and you have your mission in life, you don't need to think about it. You just say it.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much for this interview. I hope this interview also will help more people to start speaking up for their country, even if it's not your country. Just believe me, our world is so small. It doesn't matter you are Armenian, English, British, American, South American. Doesn't matter. Our world is so small. 8 billions. It sounds like, oh wow, 8 billions. No, just it's a little planet.
Totally.
If you silence about someone's war, one day something will happen in your land. So just speak up. If you think that it's right, just share the news. Thank you very much for the interview.
Actually, Arus, on that note, I'm glad you've mentioned that, because as you know, recently Iran had a massive struggle with the young lady who didn't wear a hijab properly, and she was killed. To me, that is not only mentally wrong, but it's disgusting that in the 21st century, religion, and it is religion, is still killing people for the sake of religion. And I think the fact that Iranian girls stood up and started cutting their hair against what was going on in Iran, I thought was a fantastic stand towards something that is incomprehensible in this decade, in this century. So for me, I think it's the same for Armenia. It is incomprehensible that children are hiding in caves so they can live. Families are running away and moving to Yerevan or to Russia or to somewhere else just to live. And Azerbaijani soldiers are just attacking Armenian soldiers who are going to the front line to grab the bodies of other Armenian soldiers that are being killed during this war. And they're now firing on them whilst they go to collect their brothers and sisters from the front line. So as far as I'm concerned, if we don't speak up, then your silence is violence. And as far as I'm concerned, every Armenian on this planet should be either sharing, speaking, talking, and doing everything and anything possible to let the world know that we are human beings. And that is it. There's no religion, no creed, no race, no color. We are human beings. And like you, we all want to live. Simple.
Great words. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for this interview. I think our viewers got that motivation and maybe bravery, to start speaking up. Thank you very much.
Let's hope.
Dear viewers, thank you for watching us, and I will see you next week.